Hello friends, James Corbett here from CorbettReport.com, coming to you on the 16th day of July 2011, and as I speak today on the 16th day of July, the Corbett Report podcast has not been available on the Apple iTunes Store for many months now, and this is something that I've had a lot of emails through the contact form on CorbettReport.com from people out there who are wanting to subscribe to the Corbett Report podcast and can't do so through the iTunes Store. And for those of you out there watching who don't know, yes, the Corbett Report has a podcast and interviews, so there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of audio all available there on the Corbett Report website for absolutely free download. But people who are looking to get that onto their iPods, iPhones, iPads, or other iSlave devices are having some problems, and I sympathize with that. But all I can say is that the Apple iTunes Store, for no reason whatsoever, changed the link that the iTunes Store Corbett Report podcast was pointing to, and it changed it to a broken link, which leads to nothing. And then, so obviously it was broken. People couldn't download through that podcast feed anymore, and eventually the iTunes Store, after I made them aware of this problem and spent months and months and months going back and forth with what I think is an autoresponder, not a real human being, and nothing happened, and eventually they took the podcast down because it was a broken link. Absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing I can do on my side whatsoever. Trust me, I've tried. Maybe if thousands of people emailed them, they'd actually do something about this. But regardless of that, I'm going to show you today how you can subscribe to the Corbett Report. First, here we are on the homepage of the iTunes Store for Japan. Interesting, isn't it? Well, let's look up at here, and if we just type in Corbett Report into the iTunes Store, this is what you're going to find. You're going to find the video feed. So they do have my video podcast up, and you can download all of the videos that I put out through the Corbett Report website here, or you can subscribe here to get it downloaded instantly to your iTunes, and then you can sync it up with your iPhone or whatever, and you can watch it that way. But what about the podcast? What about the interviews? Well, I'm going to show you today how to subscribe to that. And so let's go over to Firefox, and we will take a look at the Corbett Report homepage. And let's start off on the actual homepage. This is what you see when you see CorbettReport.com. Hopefully you've seen this before by having gone here. Here's the homepage, and I'm going to show you the very easiest way to subscribe to my podcast is to actually go to this RSS feed, click on this button. This is what I see when I click on the feed. I get this breakdown of what's in the feed, all of the different podcast episodes and interviews and all of that. And at the very top, I get this thing that says subscribe to the feed using iTunes. And if I subscribe now, if I click that button, it'll bring up my iTunes and it will subscribe me automatically. I won't do that because I'm already subscribed, because I want to make sure to check the feed to make sure everything's coming through correctly. But basically, that's all I have to do to subscribe to this feed. Unfortunately, there are a billion different browsers out there and different operating systems, different platforms, different ways that people have their security configured, and all those sorts of vagaries that mean this might not be what you see at all when you click that link. And for those of you who do not get something like this or cannot easily subscribe to through iTunes that way, well, unfortunately I can't respond to everyone individually about something like that, but I can show you another way that you can subscribe using this feed. So instead of left clicking on that, let's right click for the Windows users out there, or for Mac users like myself, control click, go down to copy link location, and then go back to iTunes, and up at the taskbar we have this. And in my taskbar here on the Mac version of iTunes, we have advanced, subscribe to podcast, and then you just paste in Control V or whatever you want to do to paste in that link, and there it is. And if you click OK, once again, it will subscribe you to the Corbett Report podcast feed, and you'll get everything, the episodes, the interviews, and the videos, all downloaded to your iTunes. Again, I won't click the OK because I'm already subscribed, but that's what you should do in that case. And I don't know, that should subscribe you, so hopefully that will get you there. If not, there's even other ways to do this. So we'll go to the subscribe button here on CorbettReport.com, and this is what it looks like. And over here we have the subscribe via RSS. That's the same RSS feed that we were using here, and that's also over here. So there's lots of the same subscribe buttons, just so you can't miss it. And there's also subscribe via email. So again, click in this box, enter in your email address, submit, and it will send you a thing to confirm. And once you're confirmed, you'll be on the email list. And every time there's an update to the Corbett Report website, it will automatically send an update email out to all the email subscribers every day. I think it's around 12 noon, something like that. It will send you an email just basically listing the updates, so that once you get that email, you just click on the attachments in there, and you can download the MP3 or the video or whatever it may be. So there you go. There's another way to stay subscribed. And if you don't want, for whatever reason, if you only want the podcast, you don't want the interviews or videos, you can use this RSS feed. If you only want the videos, you can use this one. Only interviews here and only the articles here. So again, in the exact same way, if you click on this, hopefully you'll see some kind of screen where you can subscribe through iTunes. And that means you can subscribe just to the podcast episodes themselves, or you can subscribe just to the videos. So again, I've tried to break it down in as many ways as possible. There are lots of different ways, and hopefully one of these methods will work for you to get it through iTunes, but if not, again, you can subscribe to the email list. So millions of ways to get the Corbett Report, but hopefully one of these works for you. I know a lot of people have been having problems with this, and they've been contacting me through the contact form here. So thank you for letting me know about this problem, and I don't expect Apple to fix this anytime soon. It's just not going to happen. They just have autoresponders or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not going to ascribe motivations to them, but certainly whatever it is, they're not going to help anytime soon. So I'm not relying on them to put the Corbett Report podcast back in the iTunes store. But having said all of that, if you want to support the Corbett Report in all of this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of absolutely commercial-free, free to the public media that doesn't cost a penny, if you'd like to support this work, down here at the bottom of the subscribe tab on CorbettReport.com, there's support the Corbett Report. And what this is a subscribe button. And you can subscribe to the Corbett Report by basically giving 100 Japanese yen donation each month. It's a recurring fee of 100 Japanese yen. There's no donate function for the Japanese PayPal store, just given the way that the Japanese laws work. They're not allowed to put a donate button, apparently. So there's no option to just make a straightforward donation, but if you want to subscribe and just offer 100 Japanese yen donation per month to help keep this report going and growing, you can click on this button and it will bring up a screen where hopefully you will be able to see it in English. I've had some people say something comes up in Japanese. Again, I hope I've corrected that problem. It works for me anyway. Here it is in English, 100 Japanese yen per month, and you can either use your credit card or your PayPal. And again, I'm not really promoting either such method of payment, but if you have that method of payment and are able to use it, well, at least use it to support some good alternative media. And that's basically it. So once again, I just wanted to make sure that people can subscribe, because I think people might be missing out on really what amounts to an incredible treasure trove of free audio MP3s that are there for the download and there to be put on your iPhone or whatever device you might have. So I hope this helps for you. And thank you once again for all of the support that you've given me over the years. I couldn't do it without all of you.